Okay, everything's up and running. Um, let's see here. I want to right away. Let's talk about the Hit and Run Candlestick blog. If you scroll down, this blog is updated every day, by the way. And if you go to the blog and in today's blog, anyway, you scroll down and you'll see all the earnings that are coming up. Maybe not well, I'll just say there's a list of earnings coming up. This might be worth taking a look at from time to time. Even if you just glance at it, you'd be surprised how you'll remember some of these ticker symbols. And then when you are looking at a chart, it might prompt you to go look at the exact date, because trading through earnings is kind of important. You might not want to trade through earnings, or it's just important to know that you are, I guess. So don't forget to take a look at that blog and check out the earnings that's coming up. I think that's truly important. Thank you, Ed, for posting that. Honestly, I mean, Ed mentioned it yesterday, reminded me of it, and that's why I wanted to. He mentioned it here in the room, and it reminded me of that. So I wanted to bring it to everyone's attention that it's out there, okay? Another thing is, as we look at charts, an example, take spot here, okay? This is one of the charts. Well, I might as well talk about it right here. Remember that when I'm looking at charts and I'm posting spot, see, I think spot's bullish. I think spot goes higher, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean that spot is a buy. So where it's at right now, 301, doesn't mean it's a buy for everyone right here. So it's very, very important to have some understanding of trading and to have some understanding of what you want in a chart, what you look for an entry, what you look for a stop. And if you need help with that, please ask. Be glad to, cover it during the day, or, do something like that to help out. Not that the way I'm looking at it is the right way, but it might be a little guidance for you down the road or something. So just remember that. So take spot, for instance. I think spot is a bullish chart, and I do think spot goes higher based on the chart. So the question is, where's the best entry, and maybe target, things like that. Target wise, one simple thing that I might do is put something like this up here, and I'm going to go to that low. So right there becomes some target areas if you are somebody that has to have targets up there, and that's fine. If that works for you, if you need those targets, and there you go. There's an easy way to do it. Let's delete that. And now spot here, pre-market, is coming off the 50-period moving average. A nice trend, by the way, beautiful trend, nice gap, nice pullback. It looks like we're up over the T-line and the trend indicator, so the whole road to wealth trend is clearly working on this morning. We'll have to watch a little bit to see if it continues to work throughout the day. But right now, I'm looking at something I'm going to buy typically over the trend indicator and or over the T-line area. For something like this, I'm typically going to, not that I draw the box every time, but this is what I look for to try to buy inside, or just as it breaks out, an inside day here, looking at that. And then I've got my stop area set up, probably a little lower than that. Stop area set up, targets up there, and now I can go about my way and trade my trade. But it's important for everyone to realize that, some things you as a trader do a little different. For instance, I know there's people in the trading room that wouldn't touch this until it breaks out of this top up here. And that is perfectly fine. That is an absolute strategy that I could get behind. So some folks wait for that breakout. Some folks are going to buy right away. Some folks are going to wait for a pullback or inside day or intraday, something like that. But it's the important thing is what works for you. And if you have, like I say, if you have questions about that, please don't be bashful. ask away, okay? So anyway, spot is on the watch list. All right, let's take a look at the market real quick, and then we're going to look at a few more charts. So yesterday and Friday, we came right down to that 50% retracement. So far, technical trading is working. I love technical trading. I wouldn't say that technical trading is 100%, or maybe it is 100%, but it's the driver looking at it that may not be 100%. So that could be the problem too. But we had a finish yesterday that I'm going to say was nice. It could have been better. That last half hour of the day, we got chopped up here. Kind of a bummer. I was truly hoping we'd close a little bit better, but hey, I'm okay with that. Providing today kind of steps up, and so far pre-market it is. My biggest goal for the very near future, or below the T line, which is the black line, my biggest goal is to close over 500. That is my biggest goal. Because once we do that, that's a psychology number, and it also puts that chart in a position to continue its relief rally, okay? Relief rally. So the next obstacle over 500 will be the T line, to move price over the T line. The obstacle from there is going to be this black candle, these two candles right here. 506.15 would be an obstacle, and then the trend indicator is going to be an obstacle, and then right through this area right here, right about this area right there, this is going to be the 50% retracement back up, and that will be an obstacle as well. Also the 50 period moving average. So I'm not bullish, believe me. I've got some bullish positions on, but market-wise, I'm not bullish because this is still a bearish chart. However, in bearish charts, it is very common to get relief rallies, and that's what we're in the midst of right now. Big question on how long it's going to last. That's where we're going to follow price action pretty darn close. But as we move up, let's make that blue. There we go. Maybe make that green, huh? As we move up, there we go. As we move up here, we're going to watch those obstacles for any major selling. A little bit's no big deal. In fact, somewhere along the way, I want some selling. I want a pullback, because that sets up a nice chart pattern. Low, high, higher, low. And then I want that continuation, and I want to break out of wherever the high ends up, okay? So then we can look as we, trade as we move up in this relief rally. Now, as we approach the T-line hurdle, that's when I'm gonna, if I've made some good money on any positions, I'm gonna start taking some money off the table. And it's the same with this hurdle up here at whatever that was, 507, or this hurdle right here. Same with the trend indicator hurdle, and same with the 50% retracement hurdle. I will look at taking some money off. If we can make it up to this area right here, I will be pretty much, unless there's some massive candlestick, something in the price action that says the bulls have just taken supercharge. Unless there's that, I will start looking for some short setups. As we approach those hurdles, I will also be keeping an eye on that for some short setups, because I am still bearish, because the overall trend is still down. I've painted this yellow right here just for caution reasons. Be cautious in this area. Also want to remind everybody that the current market condition might not be great for every trader. Please keep that in mind, okay? So let's take a look at FNGU. This is another chart that's pretty important to me that I like to follow. We are bouncing off what we call the dotted deuce. It's a 200 period moving average that's been tweaked a little bit. Here's the 50% retracement right here. And this should be kind of a cautionary area as well. We want to be really careful. Let's paint that. That didn't turn out real good, did it? Let's paint that yellow. There we go. So have some caution as we move up. One of the key things about trading, and this goes back to trading 101, that sometimes we get, AI, all the electronics out there. We kind of forget sometimes about some of the basics of trading. And one of the basics is when you have a trend to the downside, as harsh as this, and I think that's pretty harsh. When you have that, it requires a bottom, okay? Now, nowhere in the world is, say, let's call it a bullish piercing candle. There we go. If we put in a bullish piercing candle, nowhere in the world is that a reversal candle. You could put in a bullish engulf. Nowhere is that a reversal. It's what comes after that. That's important. Okay? The next thing is that a pattern really needs to be produced. So low, high, wherever the high is, a higher low or a double bottom would work, and then a breakout of that high. All this in here is junk. Tradable, but junk. Dangerous, but tradable, but junk. Okay? So careful not to catch or try to catch some loose cannon down here. If the market starts to wail on you here and start to move up, there's going to be other stocks out there rocking. Just keep in mind, this 800-pound elephant is still sitting on your chest. All right? So let's go look at the Qs, and Qs kind of follow the FNGU, or FNGU follows the Qs. Kind of the same thing right in here, not much difference. IWM might be trying to carve out a bottom, might. That does not mean that it is. It means it might be. And really, until you get over about 196.50, I would call this a very junky area. Very, very junky. Very hard to trade. We do have our low. It does appear that we have a high. And for right now, we can call this a higher low. If we start to break out of 196.50, then we might have something to the 50-period moving average. Okay? So that's what I'm kind of looking for on a relief rally. All right, man, I kind of wasted a lot of time today. Let's look at some more charts here. GE reported, and it's rocking. I think it goes higher. Target-wise, might try that 48 area. Remember to wait for your entry. And remember that just because I'm looking at GE right now doesn't mean GE is a buy right now. GE might be a buy 3 days from now. I'm looking at GE because of all the criteria that I look at in GE. Trend, how the trend indicator's working, 50-period moving average, rising, flat, or declining. I'm looking at the overall candlestick pattern here. I might be looking, in some cases, I might be peeking at the weekly chart, or the 4-day chart, or 3-day chart, or the 2-day chart, or the daily chart. That's about all I look at pre-market. And, I see this going higher. I see the first target up there about 48, but this might not be the entry. All righty? Keep your app open. Keep your app working on your phone. If I decide to buy this, that I'll share that with everybody. I'm saying GE, and this is General Motors. Goodness sakes. Sorry about that. GE's the next one. So there's GE 170.80 target up there. But again, it's based on our criteria that we look at, and the entry is done on a as needed or a timing issue. The entry might be better suited for some, if we pull back a little bit. The entry might be better for some if we break out a little bit. And say my entry during the day maybe would be based on what the overall market might be doing. Are we still in a current relief rally? Have the bears stepped in and are they starting to drive us down? Well, that's going to put the screws to buying a long trade. So have your criteria. And if you need help with that, believe me, let's talk about it, okay? CAG, C-A-G. I think CAG goes higher. I think this is a horrible area to buy it. Absolutely horrible. But I think it goes higher. So we're going to watch that trend, Trendicator trend. I'm going to wait and see what it does with this top. And then let's look for a buy somewhere in this area right there. Right there. And again, if I end up buying CAG or we like CAG, I'll certainly post it on the app area on CAG. Take a look at the weekly chart. Look at that weekly chart. Looks gorgeous. And since I use moving averages an awful lot, I'm going to use that 34 area or the 200 period moving average as a target. Let's see. LMT is another one. LMT. Now we're sitting here at a top, right in here. I don't think that's the best entry in the world, but I do think LMT runs higher. So we want to wait for that entry. Now that entry could be on a pullback. It could be on a breakout in a pullback. Again, it's important to know what you're looking for. And if you need help, check it out. Hit Run Candlesticks, Right Way Options, BYOB. John, Doug, myself, more than happy to help with some of this here. All right, I have run over my time. I do apologize. We'll see everybody at the bottom of the hour. Let's get this market opened up, have a little fun on a Tuesday. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.